Glorious Gossip, a show dedicated to our favorite nerdy voice actors playing Dungeons & Dragons, the show Critical Role, over on Geek and Sundry. Welcome to everyone joining us live, and don't worry if you can't stay. As always, we will be posting this on Monday. I will throw an apology out to everyone in the audience that has not enjoyed me keeping in the little introduction or pre-introduction, everything is up and running checklist. I thought it was a nice little behind the scenes type of thing, but I've gotten enough word that it is not something individuals would like to see, so that will be getting edited out starting with this episode. Many thanks to Mal the Griffin, or Griffin Malcolm. Sorry, I have not changed it in the script, and I can't remember specifically what the name has been changed to. But Akuma Mika, at Mal the Griff, over on Twitter, for our logo. This week features more amazing pieces of fan art. The current art you're seeing is by Ellie Vile, at Whispers Divide. Later, you'll be seeing fan art by Matt, Dr. Dubs Warwick, at Mighty Dubs, Julie, at Soft Signal, and finally a piece by Your Fairy GBF, at Eric_Grimoire, over on Twitter. If you'd like your fan art featured here, please let any of the show's hosts know via one of the following. You can catch our official Twitter at Gilmore_Gossip, or the host's direct Twitters. You can use our email address, gilmoresgloriousgossip@gmail.com, or contact us via our Tumblr, gilmore-gossip.tumblr.com, and we'll do our best to get it on the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can catch us each and every week. I'm Akiva, found on Twitter at AkivaDavid, and joining me today is my excellent friend. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get this conversation started.
Hey guys, I'm Jess, otherwise known as Jessie L.R. Leaf. You capitalize every first major letter in that, over on Twitter. And you can also find me at KurtRollSketch over on Tumblr. You can also contact me over on the official Tumblr page, which will have live sketches going up next week.
Excellent. I know a lot of people have been missing those, I being one of them. And I do owe an apology to everyone out there listening. I know we've not been very consistent with our weekly broadcasts. Life has been getting in the way. But we are working on rectifying that. So, yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, hopefully we will be more consistent going forward. I didn't really see anything for pre-show announcements.
I didn't fill in the notes this week. They do have in the store over at Geek and Sundry new T-shirts.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten about those. I'm sorry.
I will send you the link so we can put it in the description. But we do have a shirt, one with sleeves, one without, because sleeves are bullshit. That commemorates the time that Vox Machina went on a vacation in paradise, or the Bay of Gifts. And it's a shirt commemorating Dallin's Closet Shamal Bay, with Vax running away from Trinket and Vex in front of a sunset. I did not notice that. I'm going to get this shirt now.
It's a good shirt. I'm also fixing the title. I accidentally put in 110 and 111, but 111 hasn't aired yet. Can't talk about it if it hasn't aired.
Yep, instead we have a one-shot this week where Sam was the DM.
Absolutely. We're not going to say too much about the one-shot. There was a lot that happened, and it was Sam's first time DMing. You could tell that he was extremely nervous.
I would be.
Oh, absolutely.
I would be. He did an amazing job, and I wouldn't be on his level nearly my first time DMing. He did amazing.
Yes. Well, before we get into that, yeah. Let's go to this week's. My brain farted on what I called
episode 110.
No, the comments from last Gilmore's Glorious Gossip. And did you have any Talks Machina notes? Just a yes or no at the moment.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. But you know what? I'll pull them up. I'll pull them up. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, for the comments from last Gilmore's Glorious Gossip, this one is coming to us from Austin Frank, who got it in just under the wire, posting it earlier today. Austin is telling us that the Titan only swung once at Vax. What caused Vax and Keyleth to fall was the speed Jamon Sword was going to catch up. Having rewatched that part of the episode, yes, that is exactly what happened. And we apologize for the confusion. I had thought that the Titan had swung twice, but Matt had said that the Titan appeared to be swinging its arms, or getting ready to swing its arms for a second attack. Or for an attack. My wording really sucks. My English, not so good tonight. The Titan was getting ready for a swing. Jamon was speeding up, and they had all gone invisible. Vax and Keyleth fell off because they couldn't hold on thanks to the wind. And then the Titan actually swung.
Okay.
So, thank you, Austin, for the clarification. That will bring us to this week's Talks Machina moments.
Pulling it up now.
Okay. And I do apologize for everyone for our lack of cohesiveness tonight. But like I said, we are in the process of making things better.
I had a couple of events that didn't allow me to put as much time into the show this week, and I apologize.
Oh, no, nothing to apologize for on your end.
Here we go.
This is all stuff that falls on me as well, but at the same time, I didn't see anything that was overly important in the Talks Machina moments.
Honestly, there really isn't, which is why I've been slacking on them for the past couple of weeks, is because whenever they've started to talk about any kind of Talks Machina highlights that they do, just don't tend to be that in-depth. They don't tend to talk too much.
They've gone for, at the beginning, they had the more in-depth answers, but fewer questions, and they're starting to move towards more questions, more concise answers.
Alright, I have the notes pulled up, and this is on episode 109, the one from Gen Con.
Yes.
So we did have a little bit of an insight on what Liam was thinking about going through the prank. Liam doesn't intend the pranks to be as good as they are. He just trusts Sam Riegel to roll with them, and improv off of that. And they talked about being basically the one to set up the joke and then letting the other person roll with it. And that's how you come up with a great kind of improv session.
Absolutely. One of the big rules that they say in acting, or at least in common knowledge, I'll say, for acting, is that it's not how you act, it's how you react.
Exactly. The guests, Taliesin, Marisha, and Liam that week, said they all feel that they'll be battling Vecna on top of the Titan, and that they don't think that they'll stop until he's defeated.
Or they're all dead.
Yep.
Sorry to be a downer. I'm a DM. I have to throw out that possibility.
Taliesin did say that Percy is very much looking forward to killing Delilah again. And he said that she's the gift that just keeps on giving. He also says something about keeping her in a dungeon and killing her every week. And just, yeah, Marisha commented saying that's really, really dark.
She does realize that that's Percy.
That's Percy. There was a lot of discussion about Gen Con. Brian brought up how electric the crowd was. They discussed just how many people were basically that how this live show was beyond anything that anybody had ever seen before at that theater. The people running the show, or that ran the theater, said they had never seen something like this, even for a rock star.
Yeah. We have become Legion critters.
And during the standing ovation, Marisha said that she had just felt pure, distilled emotional ecstasy. Liam said that he was very humbled by the love, something they had created around Marisha's dining room table, and Taliesin said he just couldn't find the words. And Brian commented that he felt like it was a wall of love.
Good. Because that's what we aim for.
After dark moment that I liked was here. Somebody asked if any two NPCs could be in a cage match. Marisha picked Kevdak and Groon. Laura picks Trish, the Dish, and Kima. And Matt says, this is from the con, my bad. But still, now we're just me at home. Matt said that now we're just me at home playing with my action figures, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't have very many minis, but I think even I am guilty of doing that.
Who wouldn't? Honestly, who wouldn't be? Like, if you've got two dragon minis, I'm gonna make them fight.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Felice Domney's in the chat says, Matt looked like he was about to cry during the standing ovation. Honestly, I thought so too. But,
yeah.
Tears of joy.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, the cast is amazing. The community is amazing. Just, I look at this and it does not cease being kind of surreal that,
No, it's just so big.
yeah, and it's over a game that I've been playing for over 20 years now. And it just, it's finally bringing people together rather than separating a group. It's, you know, we role-playing gamers are standing up and saying, we're here, we love you, come and join us.
Exactly.
It's just awesome. Guildarts Winters says, I will be real here. I love these wonderful, wonderful people. They are amazing, wonderful people. And they really, take the time. They're not able to answer everyone. They're not able to speak to everyone. I mean, we are well over 40,000 strong that watch it live, let alone those that are watching it hosted on other channels, so that they have smaller chats, people who watch it on the videos, video of the day or video on demand, or on YouTube, that don't get to watch it live. I mean, we are well over 40,000 strong, and the cast makes sure that as many people as they can contact, they do. So they are amazing people, and they recognize how amazing each and every one of us is. So.
Like, I didn't think I was gonna really get noticed at Gen Con. I thought that when I went through that line of the cast, I might end up being disappointed, and it would just be, oh, here, I'll sign this thing and then just move on a little bit. No, I got to talk to every single one of them, especially Matt. And I fear for the day that man gets taken advantage of, or screwed over, or just something terrible happens. I do not hope for that day, because that man is a treasure. He's the kindest soul not the kindest soul I've met, but one of the kindest souls I have ever met, and I do not want to see anything bad happen to him, because he is so thankful for this community. And I'm not saying that none of the other ones are, because just looking at, yeah, they all are. But just Matt wears his heart on his sleeve, just like Liam, just like Taliesin, and you see it in their faces, the absolute joy this brings them. And it's just, it's amazing.
Matt strikes me, there are people out there that would try to prey upon people like Matt, like Marisha, like the rest of the cast. I don't fear so much for the cast. I fear for the individual stupid enough to try to take advantage to them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because because the critters are so big. There's a strength that comes with having to wear your heart on, not having to, but with allowing yourself to live with your heart on your sleeve the way they do. And that old ancient saying, angels fear to tread, or not, hold on, I'm mixing up my sayings.
Do you remember the saying, Akiva? Did you set this up wrong?
No, I didn't set this up wrong. But there's an old saying where demons tremble when a good man goes to war.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I was mixing up my two the two sayings.
You're mixing up your Doctor Who sayings.
Actually, that predates Doctor Who by a couple hundred years.
Probably. I only remember it from Doctor Who. It was the first time I ever heard it. But yes.
Yep. Devils tremble when a good man goes to war, and whoever crosses this cast, may whatever god you worship have mercy upon your soul.
We're all coming for you.
Yeah, because not only will they have to face the cast, who will rip that vile person a new one, they'll then have the 40,000 plus critters to deal with. Ouch.
Ouch. Alright. So that's it for Talks Machina moments.
Yes, so going into this, as I was starting to say earlier, we're not going to talk too much about Sam's one-shot. We're just going to point out some things that we really liked, maybe some things that could use some improvement, but we're only going to bring up things that we feel could use some improvement. If there is a suggestion on how to improve, we're trying to be constructive about things, not simply tear Sam down to tear him down. We'll never do that because Sam is too awesome of a person.
And honestly, he did just fantastic.
Yeah. Gildart says in the chat that it feels like Doctor Who has been going on and on for 200 years. Well,
a quarter of that. A quarter.
Yeah. But anywho, so let us talk about episode 110, and then we'll get into Sam's one shot, and wrap it up from there.
Yep.
So we open up on 110 with Vax and Keyleth on the hip of the Titan. And of course there's the water coming down the steps, and yeah, it's a pretty good amount of water.
Yeah.
So Keyleth does a control water to clear the water off the steps so that the rest of the party can climb off of Jamon and start heading into the Titan. Even after watching this 4 times, I'm still not absolutely clear on exactly where inside the body Vox Machina is.
When they ended?
When they entered.
Entered, okay.
I know they started on his hip.
Yeah.
And it was rather perilous.
Yeah.
Getting in there. But once inside, the way Matt described it, I know Liam and Sam were kind of joking about being inside the sphincter. But the way Matt described it, it really seemed like that's where they were.
I mean, yeah, I was imagining just where the butt started next to the hip.
Yeah.
That's literally where I felt that they were, just right below the butt where it connects to your hip thing. Yeah. Yeah. But I was actually a little, I was curious as to how the Titan had been laying when it had fallen. Was it like completely in the ground but standing up? Because Matt made it seem like nothing was on the ceiling, or like they were going through this and the layout of it was as if the Titan had been standing up on the ground. Which would mean that this underground city would have been like miles down.
Well, not necessarily miles down.
Not miles, but like it was pretty far down in the underneath.
The Titan was definitely buried. That was the feeling that I had gotten.
Yeah.
But as for the way that the stairs went, thinking about this, the way the stairs went, the Titan could have been lying on its stomach, essentially, with the stairs going up the back of its thigh.
Yeah, but then wouldn't all the architecture be at a different angle or on the ceiling or something? Like the path should be elsewhere, because the way they were going through it made it seem like when this Titan was standing up, that was the correct way that gravity was falling, and that they were going through this catacombs basically on the ground, as if the Titan had been buried standing up and had been made like that.
Well, as I was going to say, the other it's also possible that when the Titan was dying but not yet dead, it had sort of knelt down.
Maybe.
And had essentially died in a kneeling or even, on hands and knees position.
That's true.
So
I'm looking way too far into this. I'm nitpicking. Sorry.
Oh, not at all. I mean, that's kind of what we do here. So just a brief stepping out of the episode for a second. Gildarts Winters in the chat says, "Guys, I'm new here. I wish I knew you better already. I've been watching this podcast for a while, but this is my second live show. Gotta say thanks for this. Hugs to you all." Well, welcome, Gildarts. We enjoy having everyone here. As you can see, we do pause to make sure that we have this conversation with the community. So please, don't hesitate to continue interacting in the chat. I know we haven't, responded to everything that everyone has said, but we try to as often as possible. So, welcome and thank you for joining us. Many hugs to you as well. But yeah, either way,
I'm just trying to make logical sense of it, because that's what my brain's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a myriad of ways that Titan could have been laying that would have been able to make sense of everything. He could have been slightly twisted.
That's true. Or it could have been broken into pieces and then Vecna,
put him back together again.
Yep.
True, that is another possibility.
Yeah.
But either way, the way Matt described where they were going, the path they were taking, it seemed like they had climbed into the gastrointestinal tract.
Probably.
Into the literal guts of the Titan. And then, as they're going along, eventually they come to an area where there are grabby hands coming out of the rock.
Oh yeah, just all the rock elementals that start showing up.
Yeah, trying to grab them and pull them into the stone itself to suffocate them and crush them.
Yeah. Didn't Percy get pulled under first? Am I remembering that right?
I remember he got pulled under. Yeah, he got pulled into the wall first.
Yep.
Um,
That must have been terrifying, seeing your husband get pulled into a wall, looking terrified as he reaches out for you, but you can't do anything.
it's also terrifying being pulled into the rock wall.
Yep.
Um, so, as Gildarts is pointing out, though, with them being possibly in the digestive tract, they do seem to climb into the belly of the beast in question quite a bit. It has become a running gag with them. You know,
honestly,
with the dragons and now the Titan.
yeah, and then Grog just getting eaten all the time.
Yeah, by just about everything.
Yep. It's okay, he could just cast enlarge and then they spit him up again.
Wouldn't work inside the Titan, though.
Nope, would not. Not at all. I don't think that thing even has a mouth.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Mm.
But it's an undead Titan right now. I don't think it has the capacity for speech.
Probably not. Excuse me.
But yeah, so they eventually end up defeating the elementals that were trying to kill them. And there are a lot of people in every chat that I was able to see saying that Matt was trying to wear down the party, force them to use their healing potions and other items, lower down their spell slots. And to everyone who was saying that, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the dungeon crawl part of the journey to Vecna. This is what Matt's gonna do to, make the fight as even or as
uneven.
As uneven as he can to put it more in Vecna's favor.
So that way, well, as a DM, the final goal is make the players be at as much of a disadvantage as is still survivable when they get to the final challenge. That way it feels like they're actually heroic.
Yeah, Grog hasn't cast enlarge on himself, right?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yep.
Already?
He had to.
When? I forget. Shoot.
He was almost pulled in.
When? I'm so bad. What?
I can't remember. I don't know the timestamp.
Shit. What battle did that happen in, though?
I want to say it was the one nearest the Doran King's tomb. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
I could be wrong on that. Even after watching this 4 times, I could be wrong on that.
Okay, I should be, I'll go back and check my thinking, but if he's already used enlarge, they're fucked.
No, they're not.
I was really not that pleased when Vac shot out his wings, for one. I know it was a little bit necessary, but by the same token, you don't have now your rogue that can get everywhere. Just...
a lot of people are saying that the fight with Vecna is going to happen on top of the Titan. The cast is even saying that. I think it'll be within the Titan's head. Not
Maybe.
On top of. But since we were talking about Grog so much so recently, I like Gildart's comment. They killed Groggy! You bastards! Nice South Park reference there. But yeah, I think enlarge has been used. Again, I could be wrong, but I think it has. But yeah, so after they deal with the Earth Elementals, they make their way into the Dwarven King's tomb. This part, for whatever reason, my computer did not want to play that, 10, 15 minutes of the video.
Oh, just Vax going through and getting disarming traps, getting puffs of poison in his face.
Like, I caught 2 puffs of poison, and that was it.
I think there was only 2 puffs of poison. All the rest he disarmed, but
Okay.
the ones that he wasn't able to disarm because he rolled low, he got puffs of poison in his face.
But he's a revenant.
Yeah. So he was just going around and opening boxes. In this tomb, there was a whole bunch of loot that had been there previously, but he just went on ahead and started looking through all these boxes, which had already been looted. So everything had already been taken out of this place. And there wasn't much to see, but they get to the actual tomb of this king, because they sense undead within. I think Pike did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, or it was Vax who sensed undead in the area. Probably Vax.
Yeah, see, I even missed that part because of the way my computer was being such a butt.
Yeah. So they go, or Vax tries to open up the tomb. It has a lock on it, and it's a DC of 30, to which I think he got within the high 30s. He rolled something within the high 30s, and Matt was just really, really unhappy about that. But by the same token, it triggered a trap that brought a couple of them down by a significant number of hit points with some poison. No. It was a petrification. It turned a couple of the party to stone, so they had to use greater restoration.
Ah. Well, that kind of sucks, but at the same time, is not the worst thing to happen.
Nope. Oh, once the tomb had opened, though, the undead dwarven king started to come out, but Vax has assassinate and just one-shotted him.
Nice. Now, they didn't get too far after that.
No, there was a little creepy dude. There are pictures of him up on the Geek and Sundry website or Twitter page that they put out. I forget the name of them, but they're a one-eyed cyclops with a lot of spikes and sharp teeth, that had been sitting golem-like by this river or by this small pond within the Titan.
Mm.
But Vax just one-shotted him as well.
Yeah. Like, it was insane because Matt, he one-shotted him, and Matt was like, don't even bother with the damage. But, of course, Liam didn't hear him and did the damage anyway.
Fleesh Domnies in the chat just informed us it was a Nothic. Thank you.
Ah, yes. I remember facing those back when Kalia was running her game. But either way, it was just the cast was ribbing on Liam for having killed an NPC, not an actual enemy. Which, of course, Nothics are enemies. They will kill anyone that tries to get between them and knowledge.
Yep.
So. And can we just pause for a second to realize that they were in the digestive tract of this Titan, and there was mud around in the digestive tract.
Okay, you're just gonna throw out a poop joke? Is that what we're doing? Are we gonna go to that childish territory, Akiva? Are we gonna go full on poop?
Well, you don't have to make me feel shitty about it.
No, I wouldn't want you to feel so glum, so down in the dumps.
Well, now I'm just kind of pooped.
You should just take a rest.
Okay, so enough about that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much where they left off for episode 110.
They did fight, though, after that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just another fight. It was fight after fight after fight. There wasn't any real character development going into this. It's more of them just trudging their way through a dungeon-like-esque area.
Yeah. Now, don't get us wrong. There was a ton of great one-liners, some great quips and back and forth, and great role-playing by the entire cast. They just weren't as... There wasn't as much story to go into for this particular episode, which is why I had tried to combine episodes 109 and 110 last week. And then my computer decided to shit the bed and say no. So...
Hopefully in the future we're not going to get any more of those, though.
Hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, so they're down some stuff.
Which worries me immensely. Because we did notice that it was more of a slog because they were not using their higher level spells at all. Or any spells if necessary.
Yeah, trying to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, Keyleth was using spells out of her staff so that she could preserve her own. And also, Pike wasn't using any higher level. I don't think Sam was using Mythcarver for Scanlan.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. Grog did find a cursed hammer. I forgot about that. That was a funny thing.
Oh, yes! And he accidentally clocked Vax with it.
Yep. Oh, there was... they had a belt that Percy has, and then Grog had that cursed hammer that he... if he didn't roll above a certain number, he would get clocked in the face with it.
Yep.
But Pike was able to... it was either Pike or Keyleth that was able to Greater Restoration and get it away from him.
Yeah. I don't know why I said he clocked Vax with it. He smacked himself in the back of his own head. Yep. Don't mind me. My Draconic is showing and it doesn't translate well. But yeah, I want to know what that belt does.
I think, didn't they say in the episode?
I don't remember.
Shoot, chat, help us out.
I know he was given the card for it. I don't remember him saying specifically what the belt does. Again, it could just be being a...
He might have said so on Talks Machina. No. This was one Tempertar. They haven't discussed it yet. they haven't actually discussed this episode yet on Talks, so we might get it from Taliesin later this week. But so far we have no knowledge.
Gildarts, you are a wonderful, wonderful addition to the community, and welcome. Gildarts Winters in the chat is saying, time to wax the vax. Bonk. Felice is pointing out to us, Felice Domnes, saying that it was a nice hammer, casting Thunderwave. Yeah. They just need to find a way to manipulate the enchantment to remove the negatives, if they can.
Yes, Gildarts belts usually hold up pants.
Wah, wah,
wah. Alright. So, yep, that'll wrap up our episode after they had fought some... What was the last monster they fought? It was something common that we'd seen before.
I thought it was undead.
Well, they were undead, but they
like
were...
undead dwarves and such.
No. They weren't undead dwarves. They were, they're a specific type of monster that you can't... They don't stay killed unless you either, like, they'll pull themselves back together. You have to burn them in order for them to die.
It's obviously not flame skulls.
No.
Because they're already on fire.
Undead trolls. They were trolls.
Yes! Yes. Sorry. After watching it 4 times, at that point, honestly, I stopped really listening, and I shouldn't have, and I'm sorry to the community. But yeah, undead trolls. So... but yeah. So, about the Sam Riegel one-shot. Is there anything that you want to start out with, Jess?
I wasn't too big of a fan of starting off with a narrative, with Sam telling the narrative at first. Just at first, because I saw where he was going with it as he went in, but towards the beginning it just felt a little shaky how he started by reading off basically as if he was telling a story.
True, that was a little, for lack of a better term, awkward.
Yeah.
But that's something that you see pretty common in beginner DMs, and that's an absolutely fine way of DMing. You set up a little introduction to the world you want to create, and if you're not confident enough to memorize it or ad-lib it rather, and tailor it to the people as they're sitting at your table, reading it is just fine, especially for beginner DMs.
Yeah. Going into it, it felt more like I was watching a group sit around at a table and like at somebody's home and do this, rather than it just being a whole bunch of professionals doing it.
Yeah. By the same token, that to me it felt more genuine that way.
Yeah, it actually... Critical Role in itself has moments of just feeling genuine where it just does seem like a group of friends, but at the same time, it does feel very much like a show and very much like we're watching these people put on a performance.
Well, yeah. I mean, because they really get into character.
Exactly. This time, yeah.
We're not saying that's a bad thing. We absolutely love them for it. Because when they do, it's easier for a lot of people to lose themselves in the story, lose themselves in the scene when
Exactly.
when the cast is acting or improving. But with Sam's game, it was very much a group of people sitting down and playing a game. And it was evident throughout the entire show that it was that way. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It was fantastic. And it felt a lot more homey and a lot more relatable.
Exactly. It felt like one of my own games if I were to just sit down and play.
Yes.
So I could relate. I could connect with everybody there. I could feel like, oh yeah, we do that tons of times too. Sam, don't worry about it. My DM does it all the time.
Yeah. So, before we get too much further into it, the players he had.
I was so happy that I was really excited to see what Ashley was going to bring to the table for one. Then I wanted to see what Liam was going to be playing. I just knew in my gut that Mary was going to be playing some kind of sorcerer. It just felt that
Natural.
way. Just some kind of natural magic wielder who had some sort of regal tones to that character. It's just her go-to.
Oh yeah, but so the players, and you'll have to forgive me because there is one individual that I didn't recognize, and I can't remember his name, and he's been in so many things, and I can always pick him out in different animes and animated movies and cartoons and such.
Let me grab his name for you real quick.
But the players, obviously Sam was DMing. We had Liam as sort of the ringer, because everybody else was, so very new. Liam was there to sort of help the brand new player, which is the guy that I can't remember his name, and I apologize so strongly.
Eric Bauza.
Bauza. That was, yeah. Eric Bauza. My apologies.
At Balzilla on Twitter. At Balzilla.
How do you spell that?
Bauzilla.
There we go. But yeah, he was helping out Eric, helping out Sam. And Eric, oh my god, that man has a vocal range like you would not believe.
He broke out into pigeon noises, and I was like, "Whoa, where's the pigeon?
Yeah,
what just happened?"
I wasn't looking at the screen, and I was, my wife had come in to mention something to me, and then I started hearing this pigeon noise in my headset, and I actually had to look around to see if there was a pigeon sitting on my windowsill, and then I looked at the screen and realized it was him.
Yeah. Just amazing.
Like, Eric, but a lot of people know who Michael Winslow is.
Yeah.
He was in Police Academy and Spaceballs, and did a lot of sound effects. That pigeon put Michael Winslow to shame. And Michael Winslow is amazingly talented. I'm not trying to disrespect him in any way. This is my personal opinion, was that Eric just blew away anything that I've heard from Winslow. So, but yeah, and then, on the other table we had Ashley Birch and, of course, Mary E. McGlenn. And then we had Brian W. Foster.
Yep.
That was trippy.
It felt so weird.
It really did. And it was so funny.
It was amazing.
You know, when he does Talks Machina, the jokes often come across as forced.
Mm-hmm.
But the jokes that he was making at the table were hilarious.
They worked for his character, and it got a little shaky at sometimes for me because I am so used to him having a bit of a forced kind of atmosphere with his jokes. Mm-hmm. But that's just Brian. That's just how Brian operates with his jokes. Yeah. Sometimes they land, sometimes they don't, and I love him for it.
Yeah.
But by the same token, he got really into it at one point, going into what his character's profession was now, and then just he didn't let anything, but he just left everything, got everything out from behind the curtain. It was just all out there.
Yep.
It's hilarious. I did not, when the profile pictures for all of those characters came up, I did not expect his character to look like that.
No. Honestly, in my head, that character profile picture is not his character. He is his character.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Kind of. Just a much chunkier Brian Wayne Foster.
Yes.
I did not picture emo goth with drooping eyeliner or running eyeliner. I pictured Brian Wayne Foster or a middle-aged bard with a much bigger stomach.
Yeah. Sort of like Peter Griffin from Family Guy with Brian Foster's face. That's what I had imagined.
Almost. But I loved to death Liam's character. There will be nothing ever like this beautiful, beautiful death cleric ever in the world again. That cleric, I want to see her as a reoccurring villain or get some kind of mention, since this is still the same world. And we did have Albie the Rat show up again.
Yes.
So,
honestly, I want to see... I would love to see Liam play Jane in the next campaign. Because she came across to me as lawful evil, which means she can work with a party for as long as it takes in order to achieve her goals.
Maybe. I saw her as more chaotic, to be honest. Like, especially when she burned that cop with Sacred Flame, I was like, yep, chaotic as fuck.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, sorry.
And the reason I say that is because being lawful means that you are aligned with a society. And that's the key there, a society.
Not necessarily the one that you're in. So the rules that society might roll by are not necessarily the rules that this society rolls by. So I feel you.
Yeah. It has to be an established society. In the way I interpret lawful versus chaotic. Lawful for society, chaotic, selfish.
Liam did say on Twitter that Jane is a backup character. Oh, well then.
That's awesome news.
I'm scared.
Yeah, my chat, unfortunately, is frozen, so I don't know who said that. If you could
That
give
is
them
Felice Domnes in the chat.
Thank you, Felice. That is amazing news.
Just, oh my god. But that means that he can't bring her back for... Unless, like, she's immortal or something, or she becomes, like, a lich, or her family line continues and he plays something similar to her.
Or Matt only has the next campaign set between 5 and 20 years in the future.
True, but how this like she would be a much older woman by then. She would be an elder.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because this takes place before Liam's other one shot where it was the heist, and that took place a significant amount of time before. Not significant, but at least a good 20 years before Vox Machina even came to.
True, but I'm thinking more in terms of there's a good chance that someone following the Chained Oblivion as their deity, there's a very good chance of them being, if they're not put to death or imprisoned for life, of them being bound, like in a soul stone or whatever, and then released at a later time because somebody happens to find the soul stone and does something stupid, releasing the person trapped inside. So those are all interesting possibilities. Now, the only criticism that I have for Sam, if he should be watching or listening, as the case may be, is that he did a lot of narrating what the player characters were doing, reacting, thinking.
Yeah.
Not letting the players have 100% agency.
Yeah, this was a certain story that he wanted to tell, and I think everybody seemed to just be going along with it, actually. They seemed to be okay with letting Sam roll with this and do with the characters what he was doing.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, again, there's nothing wrong with that playstyle so long as your players are on board with it and know ahead of time. Because honestly, that's how first edition D&D was played. Only instead of the players rolling dice, the DM pretty much did everything. The players just, you know, provided the detail actions. You know, I want to attack this specific character. I want to make sure that I'm defending myself in this way, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But when it came to the story itself, the DM did most of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is a more modern time. And if, you know, in future games, I would like to see how Sam does with creating a plot hook and then letting the players run wild from there.
I would too. I'd be curious to see him improv on his toes instead of the story that he had. But being a new DM, this was a good step for him to start out with.
And my Mozilla Firefox just crashed. Internet is still stable, and we're still broadcasting. So I'm just gonna let it go.
All right. By that token, though, Akiva, we
we
there
are
isn't
wrapping.
much else. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up now.
But yeah, so jumping back to episode 110, do you think that they are going to get to Vecna next episode?
By the end.
By the end of next episode?
Or by the middle of it. I think Matt has something waiting for them. I think that once they get to a certain point, they're going to have to figure out a plan in order to stealth to Vecna, find exactly where Vecna is located, which they can with Vax, but be able to get to that point, make sure they're able to catch him off guard, because while Vecna knows that they are in the Titan, he can't actually see them. He has to rely on other people or go there himself looking for them
Thanks
in order
to the
to
ring.
see. Yeah, he can't scry on them. So he does not know when they're going to attack, so he has to keep his eyes and ears open for them. So Vox Machina has to come up with a plan in order to catch him off guard, unawares, which is going to be extremely hard since he's going to be looking actively for them.
Absolutely. Now, the thing that I'm going to say is, if they get to Vecna in the middle of the episode, unless Matt plays it so that Vecna shows up in the middle of the episode, points and laughs, throws some minions, and poofs away. If they start fighting Vecna directly in the middle of the episode, it's going to be a long episode because they're not going to end the episode until they have finished their fight with
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't think Vecna's gonna... It's like a boss battle where the boss just keeps retreating.
Yes.
Into further and further points in the city. He's gonna pop up, taunt them a little bit, throw some real powerful shit at them. I apologize for my language, you guys.
We've been making shitty poop jokes all evening. There's no reason to apologize, Jess.
But we're gonna get... we are definitely going to see a couple of tough battles with his minions, but I do think that he's going to be keeping his, like, Lady Delilah close to him as well, or she's going to be one of the final bosses before they get to the final boss.
Yeah,
either that
the boss
or
rush.
Yeah, either that or she's going to be by his side, or she's going to have some very powerful allies of her own fighting off to the side and trying to wear Vox Machina down or kill him. Or kill them.
Yeah. Honestly, I see... It really depends on how Matt views the game. I know in the beginning, it was all about them having fun and the narrative. But as the show has progressed, the cast has become more and more aware of the audience and more, for lack of a better way of putting it, accommodating to the audience. That's... I mean, they'll do what they want to do. I hope that they are doing what they want because they want to, not because they feel the audience expects it.
Yeah.
And that goes triply for Matt, because being the DM, he doesn't show his cards or his plans, so we can't know how much of it is him playing to the audience and how much is him playing to his characters or to his players.
Yeah. Also, Tripoli is not a country. Akiva, I'm sorry.
It used to be. Anywho, but yeah, as I was saying, if he's playing to the audience, I think the fight will be happening next episode. The fight with Vecna. If he's playing to the players, he will assess, what equipment they have left, and make the judgment call there. So it's
my hope that he's playing to the characters. I would much rather he played to the players instead of us.
Absolutely.
I personally do not mind if this drags out for a while. I don't care, really. I would love to see my babies, continue fighting on, trudging through this. I don't know. I would like something big to happen in the next one, but I do not want the fight with Vecna just yet. I don't think that they are ready for it, and I think that they need to have a plan. They need to have a solid plan, because they do not have them right now, and I honestly do not see them being able to work around getting to Vecna. They need to survey their terrain. I want to call back to the fight with Gavarn, because with that, even though it didn't totally go as what they wanted, they were able to use their surroundings to help them. They were able to come up with this brilliant and clever way of knocking this beholder down. And that's the Vox Machina I miss. That's the Vox Machina I love to watch.
Well, yeah, but you also have to remember that plan was, like so many of their plans, pulled out of their rears at the last minute when they saw the actual battlefield.
Yeah.
By the same token, they are literally out of time. So unless Matt has it in his mind to turn this into, or to go make this campaign, it started out as an adventure, then went to drama, an adventure drama, and then is now starting to touch on survival horror drama. Like, we're at the very edge where if Vox Machina loses and we have a TPK, the next campaign is going to start in that survival horror.
Yep. I don't necessarily want to see that, actually.
No, neither do I. But
I don't want that theme.
There is another possibility that I can see going. Vecna teleports Vox Machina to the other side of the world, to one of the other continents. Does his little display of power, and we have a couple of months where Vox Machina is essentially grinding, trying to find survivors and rebels and such. They're having to safeguard the Tremels as they're going along, and we have a short little stint of essentially survival horror drama before they, meet Vecna one last time and actually take him down.
I like that. I I see that as a possibility, but I don't see it as a very likely possibility at all, since everybody expects them to be ending, especially the players. They expect this to be ending, and Matt seems to be hinting that, yes, this is indeed...
Yeah.
And everybody's raring to get to new characters. They're raring for this story to end, even though I personally would love to see that kind of a spin-off where, yeah, they get teleported and they have to spend a couple of months, but by that same, I'm just gonna keep worrying about like Whitestone or something. I'm gonna get tired of worrying about all of these places that I wanted to be safe, but now are all getting under attack, and it's just a whole bunch of horror drama with these characters that we've wanted for so long to just be safe and to live out their lives. So I expect Matt to end it here. I don't think it's going to go on like that.
You know, as you guys know, I was in the military as an intelligence analyst. What I just did was my least likely scenario, but, you know, we always have to come up with 3. Least likely, most likely, and most dangerous. So that was my least likely scenario. Most likely, I'd say they're going to get to Vecna at the end of next episode.
Yeah.
And then most dangerous is them meeting Vecna in the middle of next episode.
Yep.
Because I have a feeling that's actually going to catch them off guard.
I mean, that's what Matt wants to do. He wants to be... That's Vecna's whole goal, is to catch his enemies off guard. That's what Vox Machina is trying to do, but to flip it on its head and have Vecna catch them off guard.
Totally something Matt would do. But with that will bring us to the end of this episode of Gilmore's Glorious Gossip. If you enjoyed, please leave us a like, let us know what you think. If you have any thoughts or comments you want to share, please feel free to join the conversation in the comment section below. We do make sure that we read every comment. I've been slipping lately on answering every comment. I apologize for that. But we will definitely be doing that or answering comments as often as possible. If you have any questions regarding D&D or other tabletop role-playing games, drop us a little hashtag on Twitter, hashtag DM's Corner, DMS Corner. And if you have any fan art or just want to say hi, feel free to contact us at our official Twitter, at Gilmore_gossip, via our email, Gilmore'sGloriousGossip@gmail.com, all one word, via our Tumblr, Gilmore-gossip.tumblr.com, or contacting us via our individual Twitters. I'm at Akiva David, AKIVADAPHYDD.
I'm Jessie, otherwise known as at Jessie LR Leaf. Capitalize every first major letter.
And we hope you enjoyed, and until next week, kick back, relax, and enjoy your games.
May all your hits be crits, have a nat 20 day, and I'll see you guys on the internet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.